Welcome back to the most professional StarCraft 2. Let me introduce you to the Terran in the top left. The chess master has returned. It's TY. And another chance at redemption for the Protoss player in the blue. We have Classic, yes, with a bit of a bone to pick against the red Terran, because Classic lost to TY, was almost denied his slot in the GSL Code S. Because of it, he was able to power through regardless, showing that he is still an incredibly top-tier player. But TY has the edge in this returning series, and now this is the real deal. This is the Code S in person. We're back, and TY has a lot to prove coming back. And Classic, of course, wants that vengeance, and to prove the Protoss can, move on at all in the GSL. Which has been difficult lately. But even though we're not there in person, we're still able to watch. Thank you to the GSL, and thank you for watching. If you enjoy... Jimmy, what are we at? We get 1,071 likes. Yes, we're upping the ante yet again. 1,071 likes on this video, on this cast. I'll cast another series. Not unlikely to be from the GSL. I've taken recommendations as well. I hope I'll make your day a little bit better. Thank you for tuning in. And I'm going to do a little bit of a spoiler to start out. Not an actual spoiler, but apparently TY goes mech against Protoss. How does that work? Historically, poorly. But if anyone can figure it out, which moves to make, which cards to play, well, it's TY. So I'm not sure how we're going to get there. Historically, Terran builds can go 5, 6, 7 minutes before we really see any sort of commitment. Where are these Widow Mines? I'm hearing Burrow. Okay, the Widow Mines are in the room with us right now. There's two. There's one right here. Where's the second one? What? Was it under... God, I have the observer cam. Looks like the Adepts poking in at the front door. TY going for reactor and that factory early. Didn't really have enough to deal with Classic's Adepts. Instead, masking for the Widow Mine drop heading out. Now, Classic should know he's already got a pylon outside. It doesn't have vision yet, though. And the medevac will come in and be able to drop out its payload before Classic is able to directly respond. And the medevac already in the corner. Boost off cooldown. TY gets in and gets out with murder. Now, he only killed 2 probes, but everything's still intact. Trying to chase down the Adepts at the front. Not going to get them. In classic fashion, a robotics bay is already on the way. Is this 2-gate robo, 3-gate robo? And getting the 3rd nexus now as well. Starport already moved off the tech lab. What is he gonna... Since I already spoiled it, I imagine this is going to be for a factory. As TY now adding gases 3 and 4. Not particularly early, so now looking to pump up the production before he gets a strong economy. Medevac looking for an opportunity. He boosted it. I don't know for what purpose. Maybe a bit of a misclick there. But it looks like both players going back to their corners for a bit now. And waiting to see what the other does. Adept still hanging out at the front. Classic has basic vision, but he's adding in the rest of the tech tree. We got a Forge. We got a Colossus. Charge. Extended Thermal Lance. So clearly, obviously, a Twilight done. That will be the first Forge. TY factories number 2 and 3 on the way. It's mechin' time. TY taking us to McDonald's. Getting us some big mech energy. Now, the big weaknesses of mech against Protoss are the brittleness of the composition. Well, the first part is the overhead, really. The cost of building the factories, of building all the infrastructure to be able to get those mech units on the field in the first place. The factories cost 100 gas, and you usually need add-ons. Mech units are pretty mediocre without upgrades. The armories also cost 100 gas, so you're out 400 Vespene gas, which is a couple minutes, well, a couple minutes of mining off of one base at least, just to get the ability to build these units and have them be effective, as opposed to barracks, which only have minerals, an engineering base, minerals as a cost, before you go for that tech. So that is a big part of why mech is kind of shied away from for Terran players. Another is just, you don't really have the built-in counters. The counter to Protoss in general is still ghosts. And it's not easy to get particularly many ghosts when you don't have any barracks with tech labs or a ghost academy. Because things like Archons and just Zealots in general can be very effective against a mech army before it's able to put all the pieces together. So that is something many players are concerned about. But TY already showing his intent here. He's turtling out. He's got depots every which way. He's already walled himself, and the mineral wall is the hardest wall of all. No nukes, no amount of splash damage or anything. He's going to be getting through that. Is he going to bring probes to deal with this, or is he just expecting TY? Well, oh my god. Aha. Alright. That's going to be a no. I guess he could juggle his way up with the War Prism. He's really committed to the idea, but that's going to be a lot of juggling. Oh, quite a circus about to happen here. Scan sees Double Forge and Stargate in production. So TY understands there is a higher level of tech possibility. Vikings are in production. 5 factories, reactored starport, a remarkably passive game. We've only seen 3 Stalkers and a handful of Terran units go down. Fleet Beacon. I'm still interested to see what Classic does with the gateway in the top right here. Fleet Beacon and 2 more starports on the way. Not going to give up. That is another weakness of mech, is the lack of built-in anti-air. Marines, one of the best anti-air units in the game. Just straight up. Of course, very vulnerable to splash damage, but mech has Thors and Cyclones, both of which are incredibly expensive. Oh my god, the War Prism. The turrets somehow thread the needle. Scan spots the Fleet Beacon and the Stargates, but I don't know if he's paying attention to it right now. The Hellions trying to get something done. 11 SCVs, 12 SCVs down. TY plummets to 78. Well, TY's back. For those who don't know, TY also known for building 100 SCVs on a regular basis. He's quite a macro player himself. He's going to have to work a little harder for those 100 SCVs, as 20 have gone down. He's still at 74, but... So, no lasting economic damage there, to be honest. In fact, that may help TY a bit, as the army supply is freed up. Vikings knocked down the War Prism, which wasn't really able to get anything done. 2-2 already on the way. Oh, repairing that refinery. +2 ground attack about to complete for Classic, but carriers are about to arrive. Classic loves hidden bases. I don't understand why this base was the next one. You have the money. Just build the Nexus here. But Classic, it's like a Gold League instinct to never build your base at your third. Now, by most conventions, this would be your third. So, Classic just embracing that. It's way too scary, alright? Then you have to look at multiple screens. Might as well go put it in a corner where if it gets attacked, you can just give it up. Oh, but siege tanks are not something you should give up so easily. Classic. Blasting. How many? He's gotten 6 of them so far this game. Oh! Wow! Oh, my. Okay. So, Classic sent an adept to draw friendly fire from the other tanks to kill the tank, but TY unsieged the tanks while repairing the badly bruised tank. So TY, in that little micro war there, comes out on top. The attention to detail. He also has 3 sensor towers, because you can never be too careful. Both sides... Wait, is that 2 or 3? 3! There are 3 on the screen, Winter. Finally finds an opportunity to do a marine drop underneath his barracks, which created the only marines on the map. But zealots are going to eviscerate the marines, easily dispatching them. Another scan. I love how TY doesn't shy away from this. He realizes he has map hacks built into his command centers. A lot of Terran players will be real stingy with their scans. But TY at 97 SCVs is not worrying too much about his economy. So can use those scans as he sees fit. And now the Viking count grows. We have Blue Flame on the way. Actually kind of surprised at how late that is. Ship weapons on the Vikings as well. Another sensor tower. 4 sensor towers. 5 turrets. The TPM raises. The turrets per minute. Tectonic destabilizers for the Tempest to be able to break through. And most importantly of all, one last thing. Well, we'll have to see the Vikings knocking down. Wow, the Vikings were hitting a lot better than the carriers were. An anti-armor missile. There's almost no anti-air. The Vikings on their own, knocking the carriers to the deck. And freeing up space for Fusion Core! And I don't think this is for Liberators. I don't think in this scenario, when he's already covered the carriers with the Vikings, this is going to be for advanced ballistics. Not even rapid reignition thrusters. No! This is, once he has the supply, for battle cruisers. Oh, TY, welcome back to the Global StarCraft League. We've missed you. But it's good to be home. High-sec auto-tracking on the way. Vikings dueling with the Tempest here. I might be wrong. You might want the Liberators just to tank, but I seriously doubt it. Or Ravens in general. Well, having 1 or 2 Ravens is great. 20 Ravens could work alongside the Vikings, but here, chasing down the carriers. Vikings still not finding purchase. Another way. How is this still going? Well, he never got through the mineral wall. Classic is now mining from all of the bases. 97 to 88 workers. TY's big weakness is how little army supply he has, because he has 95 SCVs. So he can't help himself. A bit of a macro player himself. We're still waiting for TY to free up some supply for the potential battlecruiser switch, but knocks out a Tempest. Another one. So satisfying to watch. Classic has some forward... Like, Classic is... He's really embraced this situation. I've been talking all about TY, and that's, you know, personal bias, but Classic with forward shield batteries. He hasn't been particularly cost ineffective. In fact, he's only lost 300 more minerals. That could all change in a single fight, as these armies are massive right now. Blunks into siege tanks, fires off a volley, blasts some... So, after 15 minutes, most of which this gateway has stood, TY finally pulls the most important unit to take it out. The SCVs. Oh, the Zealots have to dodge the disruptor shots here. Not able to break through. The gateway. The SCVs poking it down. Fusion cutters work on buildings as well. Classic kind of throwing away his ground army. He's getting a lot of the tanks, actually. There's very little support. And that will free up supply for both sides to go to the skies. Battle cruisers. Mothership. Vikings carriers. As both sides will escalate the situation. Yamato cannon. Well, the Vikings can chase. Still a huge amount of workers. Honestly, this is too much for TY. If there's one mistake he's making, there are too many workers. He hasn't embraced the mass orbital style a lot of Terrans have been showing, but instead is maintaining a super high SCV count, which in the long term is more efficient as he... Well, this isn't very efficient. This is happening. This is professional StarCraft. Is that a planetary he's... welcome back, TY. Feel like I'm gonna keep saying that, but Yamato nearly done. Battle cruisers revealed immediately. Used for point defense. The main benefit of the battle cruisers is the tactical jump ability, where every little over a minute you're able to jump. Pretty much, Protoss has no way of stopping it besides killing the battle cruiser. Fungal and neuroparasite for Zerg are options. Interference matrix for Terran. But Protoss just has to take the cruiser out. Thankfully, the Tempests are pretty well suited to it if they can get in range. Takes a lot of Tempests to be able to take that battle cruiser down in time. More Tempests on the way. Vikings! Ready to plunder. Vikings are making their way up towards the Nexus. The Viking fleet. Amphibious, 27 Vikings. Zealots. Oh, wait. Immortals are being traded away. DTs. Does he have a scan? He does. The planetary finishes in time. There will be repair. TY loses 10 SCVs, plummeting to 81. More sensor towers. There are 7 starports right now. TY, I can't... those aren't walled in, right? There's no way those are walled in. I've said many times in my StarCraft career, usually being wrong. The SCVs will accidentally body block. It's done. Is building our... Neosteel armor is not done. Classic doesn't actually go for the planetary. Here we go, Yamato cannons. Blasting through the defenses. Takes out the cannons and the batteries. Frees up an opportunity. Recalls. Wait, was that a mass recall? But then TY jumps the battlecruisers away. Oh, so now... So there are 2 recalls. There is the energy-based recall of the mothership, which I'm so happy Classic is using for that purpose. The mothership is not a fighting unit, as we've learned so many times in the past. Disruptors working their way through. Down goes a planetary. Single Viking still working on the assimilators. Classic has lost a few thousand more minerals, but only 500 more gas. Well, here we are. A few things were missing, potentially. Storm and Ghosts. Wait. Those are High Templar. Does he have Storm? No, we never researched Storm. Get Archons here. Without Ghosts, it becomes a lot harder to deal with. Command Center building on location. Only 3 orbitals for TY. Which, even if you're trying to be somewhat efficient, does feel a bit low. The SCVs! The DT has to blink away lest the SCVs take it out. And the... that one was a traitor. Enemy spy. Here comes some ravens. I'm not... Oh! He should notice. Yes, there we are. Vikings right behind him. DT. Delays the command center by just a moment. Storm is on the horizon. Nope. 3 more Stargates. Going to be 8 Stargates. Stargate Command at the natural. We have the +3 upgrades in the blue. Full mech. TY is upgraded only as mech, but now it's fully operational. The Templar. Will TY go for Ghosts in response, or just add more battlecruisers? He's finally dipped to 60 SCVs. Since he's running out of bases to actually mine. Oh, the interference matrix! He knocks down the mothership. The interference matrix disables the recall. And that locks in the carriers over here. The Vikings are on the other side of the map, though, and without them, will the carriers be enough? They have full shield. They have full armor, is what I was getting at. Yamato cannons. He gets through the shields, but doesn't really do much the whole damage. Of course, they're not going to be repaired. He recalls out, knowing that the Vikings are on the way. Blink Stalkers come in towards the center. Another mothership. Void Rays. For Classic. Void Rays might be the choice. Well, against this many Vikings. How many Vikings? 25 on the field. TY's going to a dozen battle cruisers. And that's, well, how many does he actually want in his composition? He gets to decide. As he has money in the bank and some supply open. So it looks like as many as possible. 25 Vikings. This is a Wings of Liberty fan fiction strategy. Oh my god. Both players try to build up over here. It looks like Classic going to be the first to be shut down. SCV is on the way to build some turrets. Will never make it there. Void Rays. Good buffer for the rest of the more valuable units at the back, but the Yamato Volley comes out. Obliterating most of the Void Rays, softening up carriers and Tempest alike. Beautiful storm, but he jumps in front! Recalls on cooldown! It's a disaster! TY quarters the fleet, and he's going to close in. The Vikings are behind them. The battle cruisers are absolutely lambasting. They're glassing the field right now. The lasers are more than enough for the Stalkers underneath. Classic is trying to fly his carriers off the map. It's not going to be enough. He found the timing. He knew recall was on cooldown. And TY closes in and just eliminates the army. And that unit's lost tab, that disparity that was so close throughout the game. Classic has now lost almost double the Vespine gassed and 10,000 more minerals. TY using his very limited amount of orbitals to scan for reinforcements. 8 Tempests at a time. Yamato cannon on a DT. Claiming some new minerals. It's not like TY has a ton of money in the bank. Oh my god. It's just gratuitous at this point. I think he was going to line up some of the Yamatos. The fact that Classic has Stalkers, how do you even beat this many? Tempest over time can kite them as they outrange, but the tactical jump is the main issue. The tactical jump and the ability to just... Eventually you run out of map, as Classic found. The Viking count is still high enough to beat the ground army. They're pretty good against Stalkers, and there aren't enough Zealots to make their lives too difficult. There are currently 9 Tempests on the field, but there are 16 battle cruisers. It takes 2 Yamato cannons. The mothership is wandering into the corner. He may try to outflank. You can't recall ground units there, I think. Jumps a battlecruiser away. The ground army of Classic is still making some progress. There's still an opportunity for the battlecruiser to be caught. though, a cinematic level of battle cruisers here. What is that mothership here for? It's waiting for its opportunity. Clearly wants to mass recall. He jumps 3 battle cruisers to intercept, but he's already locked in. Oh, he recalls out the stalkers. It was a mass recall. Onto the mother. Oh, heard you was talking shit. Oh my god. Oh, that is a disproportionate response. So recalls 15 stalkers. Jumps in 20 battle cruisers. TY, not messing around. Oh my god. Classic is still maxed out, by the way. He's holding on. Where are the Tempests? Where are the Tempests? They're hiding. Oh my. He's hiding them in a corner. Quite literally. He's building another mothership. I gotta say, at least he's using the mothership in a fashion. How many recalls? Just all over the place. Not like TY has a ton of money left. He's low on SCVs. They're still bases to mine, but they are the most difficult to hold ones. Anti-armor missile. Vikings should win this fight. If there is in a straight-up engagement. TY adding in Hyper Shees. I bet he's wondering where the hell the Tempests are. He's looking. There's still 4 set up. Jumps in some cruisers. Is that the whole fleet? He's got 14 battle cruisers. Oh, he jumped a few more, but they ran right into the Tempests. Yes, Classic's Gambit. And there's not that much money for TY. If Classic is able to take out a significant chunk of the fleet, the Tempest will work on the rest. Like, the Tempest will get through the rest of the ground. What a game. What a welcome back. I like it. You know, I'm impressed by how Classic has adapted. Classic is handling this. I've seen so few games like this. I can't imagine Classic's played a ton either. But, because battle cruisers and just mech in general against Protoss are not something you see very often. And by that I mean essentially never. So, I think the mothership maneuvering and the mass recall via the mothership is making it work. Classic is out of gas, though. Quite literally has no gas income, which is not ideal. Trying to take another Nexus. I think he's quite literally... Yeah, his geysers are out. How much more is there over here? 2K, 2K. There's still like... Yeah, that is the big disparity. TY still has a few thousand gas to mine pretty easily. Where's the mothership? It's somewhere. Back at home. So he has multiple recall options. He's trying to outmaneuver the tactical jump. Here is the Golden Armada. TY doesn't want to use the tactical jump too early, sending out a couple battle cruisers. He's just going to use conventional means. The battle... is that all of them? No. He's holding some. Jumps home. With the recall. A Zealot. Doing what it can. The sensor tower, actually a valuable target. Battle cruisers killed a Nexus. Oh, here come the Tempest. Does he have jump? He jumps away. Managing which battle cruisers have tactical jump is becoming an art form here. There is an observer, clears out the Widow mines. Mass Battlecruiser. So, there is still mass... Did he use it mass recall? No. He's got the mothership in the corner. The mothership recall. Or as I like to call it, total recall. There's not that many Tempests here. If he can find them wherever they jumped, he can jump with the rest. He should have enough battlecruisers. The Tempest try and outmaneuver, but the Widow Mines will spot. Jumps one into... I love the tactic cruisers. Oh my god. Oh, the mothership. He doesn't have the right... Uh-oh. Oh no. He can't save the mothership. He's trying to intercept. Time warp on the Vikings. Yamato cannon softens up the Tempest. More battlecruisers on the left. Vikings knock down the mothership on the right. The army is just 10 Tempests. 15 Vikings and a dozen battlecruisers. It appears the chess master has reached checkmate. I don't see a way out of it. It suddenly becomes obvious. TY's army is just too much to beat. Even if he kites, he jumps right on top. Yamato cannon is online. Lines up the volley. Oh, he only had one. Doesn't matter. TY calls in the fleet repeatedly to very precise locations. And in one of the most unique games I've seen in months, takes out Classic in game 1. How do you follow that up? Come on. Leave it to TY to take the most noob-friendly unit in the game. Yes, I'm looking at you. I'm not talking about Widow Mines. No, I'm talking about battle cruisers. A unit that the flying laser bathtubs that attack while moving, tactical jump anywhere at any time. But TY makes them look like a pirouetting elephant. Beautiful, a little uncomfortable, but still very, very impressive. And I gotta give kudos to Classic as well, because Classic adapted very quickly to the game he was in. That's usually quite difficult with Protoss. Like, it is expensive to shift your unit composition, your tech. It's a big commitment, and it leaves you vulnerable for significant periods of time. But he managed to work his way into the anti-fleet, sort of like the Tempest, and we didn't really see many storms, unfortunately. I think that's really an area that could have been better explored, but he handled it well. I don't know. I literally have not seen probably a single high-level game with that many battlecruisers against Protoss. Maybe Gumio had one. Especially a game that was still so close for so long. So, usually I like to pretend like I know more. And that's usually because I do. But I legitimately don't have that answer. So, speculation abounds. Now, I don't think you can get away with just turtling the mech on most maps. Neo Humanity, you do have that ability to lock down 3 bases. The mineral wall ended up being such a big factor as well. If you remember the proxy gate, that never ended up making much of a difference besides making SCVs look very dramatic. Speaking of proxy gate, a proxy Stargate is on the agenda for Classic. There it is. Not the quickest you can possibly get it. We saw Hero getting a, what was it? It was like 3-minute Oracle. That was disgusting. It didn't even work, by the way. I gotta, because there was nothing to back it up, but I think something when you have more adepts with it definitely has more potential. You wait a little longer. But you do have the ability to combine with the adepts. The Reaper, making a lot of probes, finally gets one. Couple probes not mining there. Yeah, won't be mining ever again. I'm still getting over it. I can't believe I can. And he made it look like the strat, too. That's the thing about TY, like, these are not half-ass. He full-asses it. Or, he legitimately saw battlecruisers as the late-game option. And committed to it. And at no point did it look like the wrong one. What will it be? What will he revolutionize next? It's already a 2 barracks. He's built the command center a little off here, but better to get it done than to be perfect. The buildings can fly, why not? Oracle trying to come in, but Cyclone is already operational. And that means Oracle driven away immediately. We'll even realize it was a proxy, because that Oracle wasn't particularly quick. Yeah, the Oracle came in a bit on the later side for a proxy, usually closer to 330. So, TY, that's to mask the fact it was a... So I proxied to get the Oracle there faster, but then I waited, so that way he wouldn't know it was a proxy. It's like, alright, Classic. Blink on the way. Oracle still looking around. Always pays to be close, so that way you can maybe catch a drop coming out. Always get vision of it, obviously. Classic still on 2 base here. Not opting, well... Thinking about a 3rd Nexus. Not quite yet. Blink. Blink. Blink Stalkers are a good all-around choice. He's not going to get critical damage. He knows with 2 barracks already done, it's not going to be some sort of big all-in option. But Classic has a delayed 3rd in order to get his robotic space. So now he's gone down all 3 tech paths. Oh. He's gone down all 3 tech paths before getting his 3rd Nexus. Stargate, Twilight, and Robo. So he has all options open to him, as Classic oftentimes enjoys. Looks like a stasis caught a single Marine, which that's part of the reason to send those Marines out. Is stim done? Yes. Combat shield on the way. No engineering bay. Okay, engineering bay is done, but has not started +1. So TY, there you go. TY's still not sure what he's dealing with. Staying very careful, keeping his Marines close to his chest here. But, yeah, the Blink Stalkers is going to poke and prod. Stims again. Actually catches several Stalkers there. Colossus on the way. Barracks 3, 4, and 5. Joining the production tab. 3 more gates for Classic. We'll fill out his production quota. And we're shaping up yet again. Very similar, like a little bit of early aggression. We dabble in it. But then sit back and build up pretty significantly. Neither player really willing to risk it on a mediocre 2-base timing. But instead, slowly but surely working their way to a 3rd. Yeah, now has 3rd command center done. Barracks 3, 4. Wow, triple. I love the layout of the base here as well. Quite a production line. Even the SCVs admiring their work. TY. Forge on the way. Filling in some of the blanks here. But Classic has been very focused on building the right unit composition. He's got 4 sentries as well, which means constant hallucinations as well as access to the incredibly valuable Guardian Shield. Guardian Shield like having +2 armor for your entire army, on top of whatever armor as it reduces range damage by 2, all within the safety bubble. And since all of the Terran units, except for the best one, are ranged, that means all of them. Ghost Academy on the way, a very conventional game. Both players back to probably their comfort zone after such a dramatic game 1. But here we go, Classic blunks in. The Siege Tank Concave isn't great for him here. TY has a lot of bio, not targeting down the Warp Prism, but gets it now. Classic wanders up, takes the fight. TY punches back. That's a bit of a disaster. He's even going to lead him past the proxy Stargate, which TY's like, oh, okay, sure. Yeah, that was a... I'm not sure what Classic was expecting to accomplish, but it feels like he dipped his toe in and then kind of tilted it all the way, the rest of him into the pool. As that was a disastrous fight for the Protoss. Walking into a concave of siege tanks with plenty of bio and Vikings on the field. There was no kicker, there was no Zealot counter, there's no Warp Prism in the main or something like that. Nothing to really draw TY's attention. So he was able to just micro the fight, and he already had a better army. So yeah, very questionable fight there for Classic. It really feels like he just kind of, the fight started and he just went, well, I guess we're going. Which is not usually the best way to start things, ever. Just in general. Just a life tip. If your philosophy is a fuck it, we'll do it live. Well, like and subscribe is what I'm trying to say. Well, TY coming in with a much larger army here. Disruptor trying to chase the ghosts. Disruptor's not quite it. Shield battery overcharge, but no more battery means no more overcharge. Disruptor hits only a Zealot. Well, this was a bit of a sad conclusion to that dramatic game 1. There is a counterattack, but TY's reinforcements are dealing with it. It's been handled. And Classic supply is still pretty solid. But TY has not stopped. His momentum continues. Classic actually has too many probes for the 3 bases he's left with. 1 tank, didn't get the memo, remains sieged. Armory, quite delayed for TY. Focus so much more on unit composition. Looking for another Zealot. A counterattack of some sort is how I get back into this. Just keeping TY busy, and then hopefully using that to land a couple Disruptor hits. Pops a Ruptor. Oh. Well, that wasn't it. The Marines are standing out of the bunker to fire at the Zealots, asserting dominance. And he stims into the bunker. There's a bunch of Ruptors. So that is an overlapping field of siege fire that you cannot even pretend you're going to beat. Classic has to go home yet again. TY's nearly maxed out. Starts 2-2. 3 more barracks on the way. 4th becoming a planetary. And plenty of army supply on the left-hand side of the map. So, Classic. This is not similar to last game. TY has a huge advantage, both in army supply and in map control. The Disruptors have to hit, and they're starting, firing shot after shot. TY microing back. Zealots dying to the Ruptors as well. Jimmy, why did we cut away? We didn't want to watch the Terrans die? Well, on the bright side for TY, even though he gets most of that army evaporated, he's gonna kill the 3rd. Priorities are there. He sacrifices a significant portion of his army to draw Classic so far out of position that he has no chance of saving his base. And TY, when confronted with the fact that Classic is chasing him, goes deeper. Into the triple robo. Oh no! The Liberators will pre-siege. And that, if he's going to fire the Disruptors, he's firing them inside his own house. He's popping grenades inside his living room. Which is not usually a great long-term option. Yep, the Disruptors take out the Robo Bay, which is, there's something weird about that. But TY comes in again. The momentum is just too far in his favor. 40 probes down. And it looks like TY will be gracing us with his presence even more in the GSL. Classic. Oh my god, he's got 12 Disruptors. There's still some Widow Mines. Classic is like, well, and all that was with TY at a slight upgrade disadvantage. It was 2-1 Classic to 1-1 for TY. Now TY finished 2-2. Well, optimistic. TY looking for the flank. That is a lot of Disruptors. But the attack from the back, no Disruptors firing. He's chunking through. Fires an entire volley on the planetary, which is not enough. He's trying. I don't blame him for trying. There's always a dream that TY stacks all of his units into 2 or 3 Disruptor hits. But it's more like a nightmare now. The planetary will die, which, you know, put that on the headstone for Classic. Killed the planetary. And here's the reason why. The rest of the army heads across the map. He blinks into the main, juggles the Ruptors in. I love the tenacity. He's really trying to make it work, and TY hasn't been able to get rid of this army. So, Classic is putting him through his paces. Warping in some zealots with what little production he has left. As TY is tearing through the rest of the base. The Disruptors finding some of the Marauders, dodges the Ruptor shot, looking for a siege tank. There's just, like, the production is trickling out. He's dodging the Stalker hits. Oh, oh no! It's like the arcade game. He dodges the Stalker hits with the medevac. All right, the siege tank on the low ground. GG. TY takes it 2-0. What a series. Oh, we'll see you next season, Classic. But TY is back. I'm not gonna say better than ever, because it's been so long. I don't have my nostalgia goggles on, but there's a dream there. And TY, it feels like he's picking up right where he left off. A few steps ahead of everyone else. So, hopefully you enjoyed that dramatic series. Thank you to GSL. As always, thank you for watching. I hope I made your day a little bit better. Jimmy? 1,071 likes. Guess another series. If you notice, especially from GSL, if you got recommendations. Oh, that's what the comments are for. I read them, and then I try to remember to respond, and then, well, if you recommended a series and you see it on the channel, well, you can take credit. I give you that. Thank you for watching. Good luck, have fun. I'll see you next time. Stay tuned.